Argentina with a historic win over the All Blacks. First time they've ever beaten the All Blacks in Argentina, really lighting up this Rugby Championship. Playing versus Argentina with 15 men on your side is already tough, but the All Blacks did themselves no favors with ill discipline, getting 3 yellow cards throughout the game, making it an upward battle and coming off second best in this one. Before we get into it, let me know in the comments what you guys thought of the game, who played well, who didn't. What did you like about Los Pumas' performance? What did you like about the All Blacks' performance? But what did you not like about their performance? Let me know in the comments. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get into it. So we'll start off with Los Pumas first, home team first. Hats off, well done, how good. Vamos, Los Pumas. How good, like I said, an historic win, their first ever victory over the All Blacks in Argentina. Man, they just stuck into it. They just kept getting up, kept going, physical throughout, chanced their arm throughout. Yes, the All Blacks having 3 yellow cards throughout the game also helped Argentina, but Argentina also had disruptions with Thomas Albonos going off with a hand injury. Chocobaras went off with HIA. There was some disruptions there as well. So there's no excuses for why they won or why the All Blacks lost. Argentina, outstanding. Well done. They started off the game very up-tempo, very high intensity, forced a couple of penalties off the All Blacks. And I was thinking, and I've seen this before, where Argentina come out firing and then they slowly die down throughout the game. But they come out firing and they kept that intensity throughout the game. They forced a lot of penalties off the All Blacks. They forced a lot of handling errors off the All Blacks. So when Argentina were defending, they were coming up off their line, making strong tackles and getting up in All Blacks' faces and creating opportunities for them like that. While they were up-tempo and high intensity, they were also very frantic. So Los Pumas were also knocking the ball on or throwing the pass that shouldn't go there or getting a ruck isolated and getting a ruck turned over. So they had some parts where they did need to be a little bit more composed. And I think they did that. They really did do that just before halftime. So Gonzalez scored his try before halftime, and that was set up from Chocobaras coming off that scrum, strong over that vantage line. It's so hard to defend then because you're backtracking as it is. Because it was the scrums here, he's got over the ad line here. They've then brought the ball back to where all Blacks forwards are still trying to get onside. They run down that channel, few phases, Gonzalez sneaks over a try there. And this is when All Blacks were under the pump. So Will Jordan got a yellow, then Billy Proctor got a yellow straight after that. But credit to the All Blacks here, they defend their line because Argentina were pressurizing that All Blacks line. There was 2 opportunities there where they could have scored just before halftime again. One, they got held up. The second one, Bowden Barrett put his hand through to make that tackle on Del Guy. He was through. He was going to score. And he knocked the ball on, kind of diving over the line pretty much. So while that was well done from All Blacks to defend there, 2 men down, really well done there. It was also 2 missed opportunities from Argentina, and they could have blown the score out just before halftime. We're also coming into that second half. Obviously, Albonos, one of their key players, he went off injured in that first half. Santi Carreras came on, and he did fantastic. He's a big game player, really well for Gloucester in the Premiership. He's now signed with Bath, and he's going to be fantastic for them as well. Kicked all of his kicks. He was fantastic off the tee. He was that calm head that they needed there. There was a couple of minutes in that first half where they're trying to throw and do everything with the ball. But when Santi Carreras came on, cool, calm, collected, and man, he looks good doing it too, I'm not going to lie. So he was really good for them. And I thought Matera was fantastic for them as well. He did well for Garcia's try off the back of the scrum. We'll say Tupou Vaa'i was very slow to get off or to lose his bind there to make that tackle. Matera was past him already, made a tackle, half tackle afterwards, way over that vantage line. Garcia just picked the ball up and dotted it down next to it there. That was like when I used to play fly-off under 13s and the opponents had the biggest number 8 in the world and my flank would never help me. He would just pick the ball up and run around the flank. I'm like, what are you doing, man? You need to tackle it. Tupou Vaa'i, you had to make that tackle there. Very slow there. But also probably credit to Matera because he's very quick off the back of that scrum. And while their attack was really good, Argentina, because they created opportunities to score tries, their defense was just ruthless as well. Like I said, put a ton of bodies into it, up, determined, making big, strong tackles, passionate with their tackles as well, and forcing a lot of errors in the All Blacks attack. I thought Juan Gonzalez was good, fantastic throughout the game. Carreras was good when he came on. Matera was good. Dalgai was good as well, the winger. And Malia out the back. Then obviously Montoya was really good as well. It's a famous Los Pumas win, and it really opens up the Rugby Championship. How good. Jumping over to the All Blacks, definitely not on the All Blacks fans' bingo card, this one. There was a lot of hate for the Springboks after last week's loss. So it's a bit, yes, a lot of the people, or a lot of All Blacks fans that are usually in my comments are all usually pretty sound. They know when the All Blacks play well, and they'll say that, which I'm all for, but they also understand when the All Blacks didn't play too well and are not deserving of a lot of credit and need to work on a few things. And I think that's this game, because you wanted 2 from 2 going into that Eden Park showdown. Absolutely you did. You wanted to solidify that top spot in the Rugby Championship. They've kind of dropped the ball in this game. And that's full credit to Argentina. It's taking nothing away from this win from the Los Pumas. All Blacks dropped the ball here. Ill-disciplined around ruck time. Just silly mistakes for the yellow cards as well. Hands in the ruck. Or Sevu Reese's one was probably the worst. He was offside and he was never going to catch that ball. Just put his hand out, knock the ball down. Stuff like that. Like I said, it's already hard to play against Los Pumas in Argentina with 15 guys on the field. Now you try and do it with 14 or 13. It's near impossible. Also up against it with substitutes made. So Ratima went off injured. That's a big blow because we know Cam Roygaard is still injured. Noah Hotham is injured. I think Roygaard might be good to go for the Springbok tests. I'm not sure. I really hope he is. You want the best players playing. But I will say, in Finlay Christie's defense, he was fantastic when he came on. He came on, that instant impact, try assist for Billy Proctor. What I loved leading up to that try was Geordie Barrett's right up at the line, the ball behind the back. I think there was 2 guys running the short play. It's usually just one guy, but Billy Proctor and Fabian Holland were running that short play. Geordie Barrett out the back, created space out wide. Rico Ioane did really well to stay in field. And then quickly there, the ginger, Finlay Christie up, draw the player, and Billy Proctor dived over to score. The next opportunity they get, Fletcher Newell. Holy, the big ginge. He's ginger, isn't he? Comes around the corner. He's a freight train or a semi that's lost his brakes, that's lost his brake fluid, and he's going downhill. You're not stopping the big fella coming around the corner there. Great continuity from the All Blacks. I think it was set up mainly from Simon Parker's carry just before. Gets over that vantage line, that little bit extra meters. Artie Severe's right there, plays the little pop pass. Fletcher Newell over in the corner. He's going to tell everyone he ran 20 meters for that try. Outstanding. And this was at this point, I'm like, they haven't had too many opportunities, the All Blacks, but taking every opportunity they get, or turning those opportunities into points. And that's definitely what you want. But then it just goes from bad to worse. Sorry, it wasn't Billy Proctor who got the yellow. It was Tupou Vai. So it was a yellow to Will Jordan, then a yellow to Tupou Vai. I'll have to edit that early on in the video. And this is just before halftime, and this did not help them. Although they defended their asses off just before halftime, they're holding up one try and then forcing a knock on in the next one. Argentina were definitely going to. It ended up 13-all at halftime, but it could have been easily plus. It could have been 27-13. Could have been an extra 14 points to Argentina if All Blacks didn't just number up defensively there. Good efforts from Beauden Barrett to hit the ball out. He caused the knock on there just before halftime. And then in the second half, man, it's problem for the All Blacks second half. We saw it in that first test, where they come out in the second half. Argentina scored 2 tries pretty much off the bat. Yes, All Blacks arm wrestled their way back into it in that first test. But here in the second test, really, really struggle in the second half, something that the Springboks struggle with as well. You saw it last week, now this week, definitely something they'll want to work on. But a deja vu with Tokiaho getting a maul try, the back end of that second half. And then they get that opportunity right again, line out, massive error from Tokiaho. A dummy throw and gets penalised or a free kick against him. That was an opportunity for them to go closer or level at least. Massive error there. He'll definitely want to forget that one or move on from that one quickly. Beauden Barrett's goal kicking, very inconsistent again. I think the All Blacks are still unsure about who their 10 is going forward. Not an overly dominant performance here from Beauden Barrett, and not so dominant in that first test as well, although he kicked a lot better in that first test. Backline struggling to get flow on, the link between backs and forwards not fully gelling, not much cohesion there. The forwards humming, but backs, like they've got exciting backs, but something is just not working there. D-Mac wasn't given a lot of opportunity or a lot of minutes at 10 in these two tests. I think Razor went into these two tests with the mindset of Beauden Barrett's going to be our 10. I hope he has dominant performance, so he kind of picks himself. That hasn't happened yet. You didn't get the result in the second game. Damian McKenzie didn't get a lot of minutes at 10, if he got any at all. Definitely, yes, he come on in the field, didn't get a lot of minutes at 10. Beauden Barrett's inconsistencies around kicking at goal needs to come into play here, because now I'm looking forward to that Eden Park showdown with the Springboks, which is pretty much, well, it's not going to decide the Rugby Championship, but it's going to go a long way in deciding it. Who do All Blacks pick at 10? And why do they pick that person at 10? At the moment, I'm leaning, even though he didn't get much minutes, I'm leaning more towards Damian McKenzie because of his consistencies around kicking at goal. He came on and kicked that crucial kick right at the end to get within 7 so that they lose with a bonus point. And obviously at the back end of the tournament, that'll really come into play. And seeing how even the tournament is, that losing bonus point is crucial. Beauden Barrett obviously has his inconsistencies with his kicking. We've seen how the backline is just not gelling. Just seems like there's it's a bit of stop-start. It's a bit of mistiming. And even though his brother, Jordie Barrett, is outside him, it doesn't seem like it's working well. You look to someone like Damian McKenzie, who kicks a lot better off the tee. I would say at the moment, he's probably giving you a lot more attacking-wise. Energy, fast, is a lot more nippy. Seems like he can link up a bit better with the guys outside him. Now you're also looking then inside, where there's been a lot of injuries at 9. Who comes in there? Has the changes from 9 affected the 10, if that makes sense? So that's some big questions need to be asked from the coaching staff looking forward, because it's your conductor. It's the master at front. It's the quarterback. It's your 10. He directs the whole team around the park, and it's a big question mark for the All Blacks going forward. Who do you pick? Do you stick with Beauden Barrett? Do you change it up and go with Damian McKenzie? There's no one else really there. You wouldn't throw Ruben Love straight into the Wolves, into the deep end against the Springboks. And that was another one. Ruben Love didn't get any minutes at all. So you can't just expect to throw him in there and expect him to do well. Who would you back? All Blacks fans, do you back Beauden Barrett, or do you bring Damian McKenzie in, especially looking towards that Springboks games? What did you guys think of this game? Who played well for you for the All Blacks? What do the All Blacks need to change up? Who played well for you for Los Pumas? How good are the Rugby Championship? It's all even. It's even. Everyone's won one, everyone's lost one. How good? Let me know in the comments. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you next time. Bye.